curious about that? Because the reality is that banks can close your account, Lydia, banks can close your accounts for any reason. And one of the reasons that they do that is because they can become liable for bad things that happen using their accounts.
Do we really want to
that's
to debate any
regulatory landscape. That is the regulatory landscape that they are living in. So if you want to change that, you got to change the regulations.
What I think is fascinating, though, is for years, the media portrayed big banks as vampire squids, and we're so skeptical of Wall Street. And now based on what happened, based on a few filings, now everyone's saying like, oh, Capital One is just everything's okay. Do you think that maybe a big bank actually is not necessarily doing? They're just trying to cover their tracks. They don't want to be liable for funds.
I think they're concerned about big banks the wrong way. I think we're worried that the banks are letting white-collar criminals get away with too much crime.
Do you want to talk more about these conspiracies of all the fraud that he's doing on the Capital One?
This is what Capital One believes, that he was committing money laundering.
Why don't we actually every single one? Super clear about the political debate that happened, and this happened in crypto. By the way,
he's committing money laundering.
Hold on a second. I just want to pause for a second because I want to clarify one thing. This court filing does not actually say that they have evidence of money laundering. All it says is that they have a team that evaluates accounts, and what happens in these teams, because they don't want to Lydia, what happens in these teams is that they rate the risk within each account, and if they come out on the side of this is a little too risky for us, they will close the account. And they are not only entitled to do that, but by law, they are required to review these things. I don't want us to overstate.
That's fair.
The money laundering element of it, but just understand that that is how they
one of two things. Either that really what it's not about. Let's be clear. Do they think was everything that was happening, not just to Trump, but was happening to people in crypto, which Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, went out and basically said that that's what the Biden administration was doing. This is a tool that we knew the Biden administration used to target
Elevator has guardrails. Nope, this is going to be, where we at? Hawthorne? Hawthorne, Nevada.
He's been paid in crypto. He's made money off the presidency.
Hawthorne, Nevada.
Lots of people are seeing him as a victim when he's just being investigated for his actual crimes.
So you think anybody should get debated for any political reason? You're taking it too hard. You're doing it. You are. This is not
guys. I just want us to be level-headed about this. We don't know that there were actual crimes of any kind committed. All I'm saying is he was subject to a process that a lot of people are subject to, including people in the crypto business, and sometimes it's very legitimate. The Binance guy went to prison and was later pardoned by Trump over allegations of
we're riding in a land yacht, which is an 18-wheeler, aka Big Rig.
So that happens, okay? But let's not overstate what it is. But at the same time, the question is no one allowed to look into it? And I think that's what this IRS settlement seems to put the kibosh on, at least for now. We'll see what the courts have to say about that if it's ever challenged. Next for us, will Republicans demand one of their own end up dropping out of this re-election race over abuse allegations? Just in, Trump has called Max Miller. In that case, we'll discuss that with you.
The debate is the banks are run and they're FDIC, ran by the federal government. They have their own rules. There are laws that were passed by the Senate in reference to what they can and cannot do. Sally has had her Or they would have went on, when they got the check to cash it and they processed, they said, oh yeah, this shit ain't right, because they tried to put it through whatever account it was.
Right.
Then they found out that the motherfucker was closed. It wasn't a legitimate check. They probably had multiples of these. And so I could have closed the account. We could have waited for $4,500.
Right.
But number one, they would have sent us letters. And they would have immediately closed the account. So they have the right to be able to do that, because if I told them, you know what I'm saying, that I put the money in there, I didn't spend it on stuff, this is supposed to be my equipment for my business, so I need that. That's the reason why I took it out. It still looks fucking suspicious. And I won't be able to open up an account. Who knows? But the whole point about it was they gave you your money. Just move the fucking account. Not to mention, if somebody is sitting there and they are telling your ass, I want to make sure that per my agreement, because somehow people found out that 10 years this one. Because he's bitching that when he was running for president, and they came that he had settled the case of him only paying $750 for his taxes. They settled it. Then when he ran for president, then it ended up coming out. Like the guy said on here, anytime you are running for a government office, you have to show your IRS tax returns. It doesn't have any of your personal information on it, but it shows how much you pay in taxes. All presidents have to do it. All presidential, they said all presidential candidates have to put out their tax returns. So you are pissed off because motherfuckers found out you was only paying $750 for your taxes. Now all of a sudden you want to go all the way back 10 years, plus the existing year, and in the future that you will never ever have to endure an audit for any of your companies or any of your businesses or anything of that nature. That shit can't be right. That's why that shit sounds suspicious. That he could be 100% legit. He could have he could have crossed every single I, dotted every single I, and crossed every single T. If he did, why the fuck would you want immunity for every single audit that was ever done? Because immunity means you ain't got to pay for shit. You ain't never got to be audited. You're not responsible for anything that anybody fined. So if you only pay, let's just say $30, and your business is worth $3 billion, all of your net worth is $3 billion, and you only pay $30, something ain't right. So they come back and say, look, you should have paid this, but you're saying I get immunity, so I shouldn't have to pay anything back. I'll just correct it in the future. Right. But that's part of the biggest issue, is because of the fact that he still wants fucking immunity.
Police that he threw her into a wall after she was late to drop off the child. And in court documents, she alleged that Miller threw hot water on her. And in February, police investigated whether there was child abuse after the 2-year-old suffered a broken collarbone. Now, no charges were ever filed, and Miller has repeatedly denied abuse allegations, including this weekend.
Understand one thing. Every one of these allegations traces back to a single source, my former wife. Just want to be clear, no court, no agency has ever substantiated any allegation of abuse against me. No criminal charge has ever been filed against me. Ask yourself, if I had assaulted her, would she have offered to cook me dinner 6 days later? Would she have invited me to spend an afternoon at the playground with her and our daughter? Would she have written that we were in a friendlier place? No, she wouldn't have. I'm not getting out of this race, and I'm winning in November.
Emily Moreno's father, who is Senator Bernie Moreno, says that Miller admitted to needing serious psychological help and that he's a danger to his granddaughter. He says basic character standards and that he should not serve in the House. Miller would have to get out of the race by tomorrow night in order to allow for a special primary, and so far he's refusing to. He would have to get out of the race before August 10th in order to allow his party to find a replacement candidate. But tonight, the source says that Trump is telling allies that he doesn't believe that Miller can win, given the accusations against him. But he hasn't been saying that out loud. Listen.
controversy, and I know Max. He's a good person. I mean, he's a very good person, and I'm going to let the families figure that out. But it's accusations, and I'm going to let them figure that out.
Accusations, we've seen a lot of those lately, and accusations actually have been enough for there to be political pressure for candidates to drop out of races, like in Maine. Why not here?
Well, there is political pressure for him to drop out. It's not necessarily coming from the president, maybe, because we don't know what was said on this call, but it's coming from Bernie Moreno, who said he should get out, even if he's been kind of sheepish. I don't care from his party. Yeah, it's coming from his party. It's coming from Bernie Moreno, Kansas Senator, Roger Marshall, and Lisa Murkowski, as well as House members.
What about leadership? What about Mike Johnson? What about
maybe working behind the scenes? You know, one of the things
let me play.
One of the what just to finish. Behind the scenes is an effort to usher him out the door, as happened with Van Taylor in 2022, with Tony Gonzalez in 2026, with there's a Republican today for making passes at his female staffers. It is not as though these things are just swept under the rug. They're dealt with in a procedural fashion.
It's actually really not a red or blue issue.
It would not be graceful if he continues
One
to
of the women in this country experience intimate partner violence. That means that most of us know someone who has lived through it and loved someone through it. And when you hear a man like that saying, well, you know, she offered to cook me dinner 6 days later, why would she do that? Anyone who's known someone and loved someone through that knows exactly that is the kind of thing that happens. And it's setting such a poor example of who we are as a country that says, if men abuse women, we know they will abuse power. And it's not just qualified.
I just said that we don't do that.
You're saying that we should do the skill behind the scenes work. And I'm saying, why do that?
Okay.
Do whatever it takes to get them out.
Let me play. This is Speaker Johnson. This is Mike Turner. They're answering questions about the situation. Here's what they said this weekend.
The key word there is allegation. We have a process here. The House Ethics Committee works on those things. If allegations are made, they work through a process.
Is it at least something Republican leadership should look into?
Well, yeah, this is an issue that is currently part of a divorce and part of litigation that's in a courtroom, and the court should be handling this.
Should he resign from Congress in light of the accusations?
Well, this is a family matter. I know Max is a good man. I was up campaigning for him. I hope he wins the election.
And those are our strongest fighters.
So Lydia, look,
right?
The allegations are physical abuse. I remember it was literally a couple of weeks ago when allegations of rape were enough for everyone, okay, Republicans and Democrats, to say, it's over, Graham Plattner, you gotta get out.
Right.
Why? This is a question of, does he stay as a candidate? Nobody's saying, does he go to jail? Yeah, the courts will figure that out. But should he stay as a candidate? Should there be a simple answer to that?
No, I mean, these are credible allegations. I think just to say their allegations doesn't show that they are quite substantiated. Obviously, there's police reports. This is a creepy guy. He should definitely not have power. I don't think that people in the Republican Party should want to align with him. And to Noah's point, I hope we're seeing people behind the scenes, and I hope we see people in front of the camera start calling for his ouster as well.
Let's not retroactively pretend.
Just to go back to his original point. Yes, a man can be abusive to a woman, and then later she may be civil to him. And there's many reasons why that would be.
It was a very creepy video that he issued.
His abuse toward her. But the answer to your question, why is this different? Because this is the Republican Party, and they handle these situations differently. And I'm not saying the Democratic Party
There is one distinction I would like to make. Graham Plattner,
the Republican Party handling this sort of thing with kid gloves with the Democratic
no
Party
one is campaigning for him and standing up next to him. Actually, he was just there campaigning.
Trump could have easily said today in front of the cameras, resign. He chose not to
Are we
say
all
that.
pretending like the first allegation against Graham Plattner get every Democrat to say he should drop out? Did everybody remember the weeks?
Hold on a second.
We were trying to make it the
Guys, hang on a second. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side and we'll continue this conversation. We'll pick up where you left off, Noah. We'll be right back.
We don't
do this often at Untuck It, which is why you won't want to miss this flash sale going on now with everything site-wide and store-wide, 25% off, and we mean everything. Wrinkle-free cotton, performance stretch, polos, pants, even our women's wrinkle-free cotton. 15 years, 15 million shirts sold, and we're still the best in the game. Shop the 25% off flash sale going on now at untuckit.com and all of our many stores nationwide. Untuck It. Shirts designed to be worn, untucked.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created free policy value calculators so you can find out the worth of your policy in just seconds. There are no fees and no obligations. Get real value for your life insurance when you need it with Abacus. Learn more at abacuspays.com.
To celebrate surviving in business for 10 years, I threw a company picnic. Food, games, prizes, and a pontoon boat ride with me as captain. We had no weather apps back then. We were out on the lake, thunder cracked, lightning flashed, and waves slammed us. Kids screamed. Moms yelled at me. I ignored it all, sang loudly, and drove to safety. Mike Gallo here, Patriot Software's founder. Business gets stormy, but accounting and payroll should...
Damn it. I should have pulled it right there so you could have got out.
Let me see my utensils.
The ones that you washed? Is it not in the closet?
I see you were in the closet. I know you cleaned the closet out.
I did clean the closet out, but I don't remember.
BMW 1111.
The dog days of summer are here. You know what that means. Summertime storms hitting without warning. You need the only weather app that predicts when and where lightning will strike. The Flash Weather AI app. Flash gives you street level, minute by minute forecasts that tell you exactly when a storm is popping up. Whether you're squeezing in night holes at work or planning the week ahead, Flash has you covered. Search Flash Weather AI in your app store to download for free today.
This is
My opening statement. This is the DOJ where terms and conditions, where you got loophole after loophole, where every rule
Loophole is a
Trump
liar.
size exception. And no one has more riding on in print today, tonight, ever, than Todd Blanche. Because two documents may have just saved his bid to become the Attorney General. Take a look. One, signed by Blanche, declares the $1.8 billion weaponization fund dead. The other says the IRS audit protections are limited to Trump, his sons, and the Trump organization, and only apply to past tax claims. Now, this is what two Republican holdouts said. They wanted something in writing that kills the fund and limits Trump's IRS protections, but here's what any lawyer will tell you. Just because you got a signature doesn't mean you have rewritten the original signed deal. Not Blanche, he certainly knows that. But apparently it's enough for GOP Senator John Cornyn to give Blanche the green light for confirmation.
We basically got a stake driven through the heart of the weaponization fund. It binds not only him, but also the Department of Justice as a whole. So I think that satisfies my demand.
I guess we're with some sort of vampires right now, because if we're running with that undead metaphor, this stake Senator Cornyn's talking about, it wasn't made of wood, maybe like a broken toothpick. But here's why. The IRS settlement that would have created the fund can only be changed with the written agreement of the parties who signed off on it in the first place. You can see that line right here. That means the government and the plaintiffs, Donald Trump, his sons, and the Trump organization. And guess what's missing from Blanche's document? Any written agreement from the Trump side. And no, Blanche, previously being Trump's former personal lawyer, that doesn't count. You don't have to have taken contracts in law school to understand this, guys, okay? Imagine you enter into a contract with someone. You both agree to the terms, and by the way, they are great for you. So you both sign it. Then all of a sudden the other side says, never mind, there's no contract anymore, no benefits for you. What do you do next? You gonna put your head down and accept it? Or... Exactly. But even if Trump's side is missing, the administration's fingerprints are apparently all over this. Sources tell us the White House was directly involved in Blanche's order to spike the fund. Blanche kept top officials briefed on the key sticking points. So he wasn't defying Trump to save his own nomination. The White House helped him find a way through, even though Trump denies he personally reviewed the deal.
And I didn't look at it, and I understand that it's been a sign-off, but I don't know what they agreed. I think Todd Blanche agreed to reconfirm things that he's already said, and what he said was okay.
But there's another case where it looks like the White House was left out of the loop. And Trump is furious about it. It actually may cost Jane Pirro her job. Sources tell us that Trump is considering firing her as the U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. Remember, they're political appointees. And why? Because her office says the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool was damaged by a botched renovation, not vandals with box cutters like Trump claimed. And then she dropped felony charges the DOJ filed against a three-time Olympian. Yep. Pirro was at the White House earlier this evening, just a couple hours after this.
Janine Pirro made a mistake. It was vandalism. Frankly, and went after her department. And I guess she choked. I don't know what the hell happened. And I was disappointed with Jeanine Pirro. Really disappointed with Jeanine Pirro. She folded like an umbrella.
Sources tell us that Trump didn't fire her tonight, nor did she offer her resignation. But the message to the DOJ still seems pretty clear, right? Hold the umbrella for the president, or you might find yourself left out in the rain. With me now, Democratic Congressman from New York, Dan Goldman. He is a member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, thank you for being here. Obviously, you have seen that the acting Attorney General, Todd Blanche, he is saying that the anti-weaponization fund is beyond any doubt, his words.
I think it's a shame that Donald Trump ran them out of the Senate, and I just don't understand why they would think meaningful in any way.
I do wonder about whether this was all performative, whether it was all the idea of suggesting that they would get something with it being in writing, as opposed to doing away with it entirely for the reasons that many have articulated. Why do you think they might be fooling, if they are, the American public to think they've moved the needle here?
I have no idea. They're on their way out of the Senate, pushed out, both of them, by Donald Trump. They have absolutely nothing to lose to stand up for what is the right thing. This is not a partisan issue. They have acknowledged and recognized it. The overwhelming majority of American people are disgusted by this slush fund for January 6th cop beaters and seditious conspirators. And they have every good reason to stand up for their principles. It's not that this agreement means anything, because the fact that Todd Blanche would have entered into this agreement, and I view the immunity as totally separate and removed from the initial slush fund. It was released under Todd Blanche's signature the day after that agreement was reached, and is completely anything that was a sham to begin with, or even the agreement. And the fact that Blanche would do this tells you everything you need to know, which is that this guy is only going to do the bidding of Donald Trump, as he has since he was his personal attorney prior to coming into office, and that should be disqualifying.
So what's the recourse in Congress or anywhere else? Is it just waiting for the judges to decide? Is it a messaging fight?
Well, look, we all know, because we don't even talk about the idea that the Department of Justice might actually investigate the president or other members of the administration for crimes that there appear to be occurring. It's not even something we discuss and normalize so much. Most departments of justice would actually hold people accountable to the law, even if they were the president. But we know that's not going to happen until 2029. In 2029, if there's a new attorney general, they can throw these agreements, they can throw the slush fund, they can throw the immunity in the garbage. It's not binding on any future Department of Justice. So it really is just to paper over and give some kind of excuse or illusion of legitimacy, because it was quote unquote associated with this lawsuit that Donald Trump was on both sides of. So not much changes in terms of either the immunity or even the slush fund, which can be, that money can be provided through other means if they truly want to. The only thing that changes is there's no colorable excuse for them to do it. And but it's not worth the paper it's written on, because a new attorney general comes in 2029 and throws this immunity into the garbage and can certainly investigate it.
Congressman Dan Goldman, thank you so much.
Thank you, Laura.
So now the question is Jeanine Pirro about to find herself in the chopping block? The president met with her at the White House today, along with Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, the department that she blames for not giving her enough information before her office indicted through a grand jury a former Olympian. Now, Trump is furious with her for dropping the reflection pool case. The sources tell us that the meeting ended with no pink slip and no resignation. And with everything on the president's plate, you have to keep asking yourself, why is this top of mind? I want to bring in CNN's senior political commentator and former Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger, also former DOJ prosecutor Brendan Ballou. Thank you both. I got to start with you, Congressman. I start with you actually, Brendan. Look, justice. Someone who did not have any facts to support even probable cause. That's what James Bureau said actually happened. There wasn't probable cause to even really indict this person because it turns out it wasn't vandals. It was a botched job by the contractors themselves, she suggested. But the idea that they would try to prove the case nonetheless, as the president seems to think they could have done, would have been very, very problematic for the attorneys who tried the case and the office's credibility and DOJ broadly.
Prosecutors, as you know, as a lawyer, as a professional responsibility, Rule 3.8, that they can't be bringing unjust prosecutor without probable cause. So the situation that you have here is one where the president's interests are coming in direct conflict with his actual lawyer professional obligations. And I don't mean that with regards to Janine Pirro or political appointees, but the line-level attorneys who are responsible for prosecuting these cases who are actually going to follow these rules. And I think what was clear from the filing that you saw is that these attorneys realized that they faced serious professional risks if they continued with this case. And they were very explicit that, at least in their minds, or at least what they were publicly saying, they were not to blame here. It was the Department of Interior that was feeding the bad
information. In Michigan, is that if you're working class Republican, you know what? You can't afford health care. You know the system. If you're a working class Republican in Michigan, I think you're going to listen to what outside says. And I think many of them will end up voting for him. Independents as well, of course.
Senators endorsed El Sayed, and do you buy what he's saying?
Look, here's the case on the other side of it. The case that Sanders is making is based on the fact that a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump are no longer enthusiastic about Donald Trump. That there's a disaffection with Donald Trump among Republican voters, which could suppress their turnout or could even have them look for different options. I think the more cautious tale, though, is that her ability to legislate and to reach across. So I think that the more cautious view is that Haley's view is a better shot. But there is an argument to be made that the balloon is coming, the air is coming out of the balloon for Donald Trump. And some of the people who came out for him 3 times in a row may not come out at all or might be looking for different options.
One person who's been on the campaign trail for
see you, Andy.
Hassan
see you, Andy.
and James Carville said that if the party keeps embracing him, then that's a bridge too far. Listen.
I'm not going to be in the same party with Hassan Piker. I can tell you that right now. If he becomes a force in the Democratic Party, I'm out of here. I have no intention of ever being in the same political.
The road Jack Trump for the second time. It's Trump for the second time. It's
out the middle of nowhere, so the signal ain't all that great.
Democratic Party. It's all on them.
Van, do you have a response?
Well, look, I do think that James Carville is speaking for a lot of people in the party. He's maybe the most flamboyant in the way he talks about it. But I think people are concerned that some of these ideas from the Democratic Socialists of America are nutty and crazy. No police, no prisons, no borders. You can't deport anybody if they rape somebody. I mean, just nut job ideas. I think people are uncomfortable with that. And there are characters like Hassan Piker that make a lot of people feel uneasy. And so I do think that James Carville is speaking in a colorful way for a lot of Democrats that are concerned.
Real quickly, and I know we're out of time, but there has been a lot of conversations about Democrats being a big tent party. But obviously we see a lot of infighting when Democratic socialists are brought up or are running, and there seems to be the opposite of embrace. What's your reaction to the fact that there has been such a visceral reaction to Democratic socialists?
Yeah, I hear Van loudly and clearly, but Democratic Socialists winning or your candidates winning some seats does not make for the whole of the Democratic Party. I think what we should be easy is people who can't afford their mortgages or their rent, or people who can't afford child care. We should be uneasy that when the Democrats were in power, they did not increase the federal minimum wage. They did not pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. They did not pass the George Floyd justice and policing. Those are the types of things that we should be uneasy about. We should be uneasy about a Pentagon.
They should keep you from it, especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate a Virginia rush ship.
This is professional law for North America. You've heard me talk about Celebrity Greens, the company that builds championship level synthetic hunting greens for homes of amateurs and professional golfers all across North America. Celebrity Greens is known for their great design, the use of the best materials, and amazingly high quality installations. Their greens look great and perform like natural greens that I've played on my entire career. Now, Celebrity Greens is looking for additional sales and construction partners. If you're involved in the synthetic turf business or a contractor looking to expand your business or an entrepreneur, give Celebrity Greens a call today. They are currently expanding across North America and they will be opening new markets soon. And if you're an avid golfer wanting the convenience and the beauty of a custom green or a beautiful low maintenance lawn in your own backyard, you should call them too. Contact Celebrity Greens at 1-888-507-7960 or visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Celebrity Greens, redefining private golf all across North America. Visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Celebrity Greens.
All right, son. Time to put out the fire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel. Wow, you sound just like it.
Thanks.
If it's still warm, then do it again. Where can I learn all this? It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire
That's your son teaching you about goddamn forest fires.
and prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry. Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Mom's early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take. And when I looked the other mom, we decided together it was time to see a doctor and make a plan. Early detection gave us more time to seek out information and support as a family. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. For more information, visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Republican Congressman Max Miller is vowing to stay in his race for re-election. That's despite pressure for him to drop out following allegations of domestic abuse. Allegations he denies. But tonight, Axios reported the president himself called Miller to tell him, quote, things aren't looking good. Axios says that Miller reiterated to President Trump he is not dropping out. The president did not go as far as calling on Miller to drop out publicly when he was asked about it today.
Which I'm very sad. I know Max is a good person. I always thought he was a very good person. And I'm going to let the families be those families. I know they're working on it. But it's accusations, and I'm going to let them figure that out.
The allegations against Miller are serious. He had previously obtained police report for his ex-wife, Emily Moreno, describes instances
she got a
of
police report?
abuse and intimidation.
Something
When where she alleges that Miller held a gun to her head, which she denies. Moreno is the daughter of Republican Senator Bernie Moreno, who just recently called on Miller to resign. Well, he is a danger to my daughter, and I hold my breath every minute he has custody of my granddaughter. If there are any basic standards of character
That's how I felt about
in
Javon.
elected office, Max Miller fails them. Here's what Miller said in a statement yesterday, denying the allegations.
No criminal charge has ever been filed against me. My former wife is engaging in a pattern of reporting incredible, serious, and destructive allegations with absolutely no evidence. I'm not getting out of this race, and I'm winning in November.
Joining me now, Democratic strategist Julie Wiginski. She's also the author of the Substack column, Salty Politics. Julie, thank you for being here. I mean, the latest reporting is that Trump told Miller privately that his re-election is not going to be easy. Did you hear his comments today where he called Miller a very good person and refused to get involved? What does that mean?
Well, it tells me that Donald Trump couldn't care less about women. We've known that all along. We certainly know that going back to the allegations against him over and over and over again. I think, in fact, he sees these kinds of allegations and automatically gets defensive and disbelieves the woman, or at least doesn't want to acknowledge that this is something that women should come forward and talk about. Look, this is not the first time that Max Miller has been alleged to be a domestic abuser. Stephanie Grisham, Donald Trump's former White House press secretary, publicly said that she told both the First Lady and President Trump during the first term that Max Miller had done this to her, and she said that they didn't really care. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that she ended up severing her
So
ties.
she said she told Trump and Melania?
How many times does the president need to hear from how many women that this man is not fit for office and that he's an abuser?
That's three different.
He starts to take
One of them was his press secretary that she said something to him in 2021. The other one was from high school that he pushed down the fucking stairs. And then the third one is his ex-wife and the kid who both have broken up collarbones.
This is not the first time the president has heard these kinds of allegations, and she is not the first woman who has heard those kinds of allegations.
Now, Miller denies all the allegations of domestic abuse against him from every source. And I want to play you one moment from the statement yesterday it's been drawing a lot of criticism. Listen.
Only weeks later did the story of February 1st assault appear, so ask yourself, if I had assaulted her, would she have offered to cook me dinner 6 days later?
Look, I was a prosecutor for domestic violence cases, and I think it is so insulting to think that people could assume the behavior of somebody who's victimized. His statement, particularly press,
She might have been just trying to stay on the other side before she divorced your ass.
How he's been addressing the allegations.
Can I get a Kleenex?
I mean, that made my blood boil probably more than anything else. How many times have we heard stories about women who, for whatever reason, can't leave or are just in no position to leave, particularly if they're mothers, particularly if they share a child with their alleged abuser.
Right, they got to
How
protect
many
their
times have we heard women, for reasons, one reason or another, stay after being abused, and then something happens, and sometimes they don't survive those situations. You know better than anybody else as a former prosecutor exactly what happens in those kinds of situations. I've never been in that situation myself, but I certainly talked to enough survivors over the course of my nonprofit work to know this is not atypical. So even if we take him at his word, that 6 days later she offered to cook him dinner, which is a very weird turn of phrase to begin with also, and traveling in there that he's putting her in that position. Look, you have the Republican senator from the state of Ohio, somebody who has zero interest in seeing a Democrat win the seat, break his silence after many, many, many days, from my opinion, waited a little too long to do that, finally say that he holds his breath when his granddaughter is in the presence of her father. And that's still not good enough for the President of the United States to listen to a senator of his own party, somebody who he supported and continues to support very strongly.
Oh, they could get on Trump over.
Still, this isn't good enough. I mean, at some point, I think, look, I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. Democrats just went through something similar, although allegations are not quite like this, but still very bad allegations in Graham Plattner in Maine. And you have to stop and just think, this should not be a partisan issue. It doesn't matter if somebody has a D or an R after their name. And I said that about Graham Plattner months ago, got a lot of trouble.
Talking about this shouldn't be a partisan issue. Why wouldn't it be?
But I say this to my Republican friends, my God, look in the mirror.
It shouldn't just be partisan. It shouldn't just be Democrats.
There's somebody other than Max Miller
Republicans
who can run for the seat while there's still time. Surely, even if Max Miller decides to stay here, this is not somebody who's fit to be in office, even if he agrees with you on every political issue you stand for.
BiggMama coming home, Big O and had a couple.
The safety of women, the safety of children should be chief among them. And for some reason, I don't understand why we're in a world right now where we have Republicans who just can't say that Max Miller needs to go, starting with the President of the United States.
Julie Roginski, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Up next, the WNBA becoming ground zero of the debate surrounding transgender athletes. Caitlin Clark now being asked where she stands after her teammate Sophie Cunningham sparked a firestorm over her opinion. Jamel Hill's with me live next.
You know Trump ain't having none of that shit.
All right. So your next 5 minutes could be your most productive 5 minutes in years, at least when it comes to your finances anyway. That's all it takes to find out exactly how much you'll save joining MediShare versus what you're paying now for healthcare. It's very typical for people to find out they can save hundreds a month, thousands a year. The typical family saves up to $500 a month. And healthcare sharing is different for sure. It's also different. We know from member surveys people love saving the money, of course, but they also just like MediShare more than what they were doing before for healthcare costs. And it's not a new thing. It's been proven for more than 30 years. Hundreds of thousands of Americans are part of this. So call them now. They are great to talk to. And very quickly, you'll find out what you can save. You can get your questions answered. Your next 5 minutes can mean saving hundreds a month after month. And here is the number. Call 855-25-SHARE. That's 855-25.
Don't look like place supposed to be arrested.
855-25-SHARE.
But when you're an owner operator, it's all good, I guess.
The stock market is the greatest
That's what I'm saying. No motherfucker parked off the street. This trailer wasn't even locked down.
Historic windfalls for those who know where to look. Stock gains so powerful, they have the power to change your life. My new book, Undeniable Windfalls, will show you where these opportunities exist right now and how I use my proprietary 3-step formula to spot, lock in, and pull the trigger on windfall stocks before they jump to life-changing heights. It's how I find my own windfall gains, and now you can learn how to find them for yourself. My lifelong mission is to help every American use the stock market to create their own wealth. So today, I'm going to give you a copy of Undeniable Windfalls for free. To claim your free copy of Undeniable Windfalls, text the word radio to 505-505. Just cover shipping.
Let your dog out, Bebo.
Again, text radio to 505-505. Text radio
have a damn
to 505-505.
little baggie. Shit from the dog, you know. Shit from the police, don't pick it up. That's another damn ticket.
Right now. Messaging data rates may apply.
Bebo probably made this trip hundreds of times. Probably forgot to put us in.
Got to put that seatbelt on.
Never match what you thought you were paying. Switch to Red Pocket Mobile. It's the Red Pocket Summer Savings Event, and we've made it simple. Get a year of 5G service on your choice of networks with Red Pocket's mobile annual essentials plan for just $667 a month. Or step up to our annual plus plan with an incredible 20 gigabytes of high-speed 5G data on your choice of network for just $15 a month. Want something monthly? 50% off your first month on select monthly plans, starting as low as $10 a month. No contracts, no surprise fees, no price hikes.
Red Pocket gives you access to all 3 5G networks. You pick the one that works best where you live or work, or switch anytime for better coverage. And you keep your phone and your number.
Red Pocket Mobile. Bring your phone, bring your number. Don't miss the summer savings event of your new ultimate cell carrier. Go to redpocket.com now. Redpocket.com.
Business owners, have you ever stopped to consider what your life's worth might be worth? Most owners spend decades building a business. They sacrifice weekends, miss family events, navigate economic cycles, and carry risks most people could never understand. Then one day they realize the company they've spent a lifetime building may be worth far more than they ever imagined. Depending on your industry, your company could be worth tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars. Yet many owners continue taking the same risks they've taken for years because they've never explored what a sale could mean for their family, their future, and the next chapter of their lives. At Carnegie Point, we help business owners understand their options. Whether you want to sell your entire company, sell majority or simply understand what your business may be worth, we're here to help. Call Carnegie Point today for a confidential valuation and financial analysis at 800-480-9190. That's 800-480-9190. Or visit CarnegiePoint.com.
I think for us, like, you know, it's not really a discussion that we're in the long room. I think this really makes it the governing bodies to look at their ethics and find solutions. But we're focusing on basketball, and that's what we talk about. And how to get away, obviously, we did that tonight. So, you find it to improve the
I haven't had no Domino's pizza in a while.
I'm just answering for you.
Superstar Caitlin Clark finally addressing the debate over transgender women in sports by, well, not saying much about it at all. And yet again, the WNBA is at the center of another culture war. This started when Clark's teammate, Sophie Cunningham, came out in support of banning transgender women from female sports. He told ESPN last month, quote, "I want to protect young girls in the locker room or young girls in sport who shouldn't have to go against biological men." And in an instant, the GOP had their spokesperson for a hot-button midterm issue. Conservatives have celebrated Cunningham's statement and called her an American hero. Even the Department of Ed posted on X, quote, "Common sense prevails." Some WNBA fans have thanked Cunningham for taking that stance and being unapologetic.
Kenneth Carter didn't like that.
Other fans have protested her position and argued that trans athletes are being used as a scapegoat. But one thing's clear, conservatives did not like how Clark handled it. Look no farther than Megyn Kelly and Matt Walsh. Today they both called her, quote, "coward" for staying neutral. I want to bring in Jamel Hill, who's being writer to The Atlantic and co-host of the Flagrant.
Can't be mad at her because she ain't got no comment on it,
Jamel,
right?
good to see you. I mean, you actually think Kevin Clark's response was reasonable. Explain why.
Yeah, it was reasonable because if she does not want to be involved and she just wants to focus on basketball, it's her right to do that. I understand that she's the most popular player in the league and that people are looking for somebody who is 23 or 24 years old to be a spokesperson on everything. But I actually have a sincere appreciation for athletes who understand when they're out of their depth and there's things that they don't want to speak about. She's not required to do that. And the reality to me is it exposes the people, it exposes the hypocrisy of the people who are calling her a coward. It's funny they're putting this pressure on her to say something because wasn't this the same crowd, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, who also stood firmly behind shut up and dribble, or does that only apply to the black people? Like, let's see. And now all of a sudden that it's the issue that they care about, which, by the way, let's just talk about that for a minute. They won. I don't know what they're still complaining about. 29 states have banned K-12 participation by trans girls in sports. Trans girls and women are no longer allowed to participate in sports in the NCAA. They can't compete at the Olympic level. What will it take them to leave this community alone? That's what I want to know. What will satisfy you from continuing to demonize and dehumanize a population that is roughly 1%? What's it going to take for you to get off the back of a community where by last count, according to the NCAA president, there are 10 trans athletes who were in college out of 500,000 athletes? What will it take for you to shut up and leave this community alone?
Well, we have the Supreme Court also having backing a decision of 29 states as well. You mentioned the juxtaposition between the need to care for
transgenders against 500,000
complete horror at the thought of LeBron James speaking out about his views, and as well as many others. And Laura Ingraham was one of the people who did not like the idea of people who didn't just shut up and dribble. And she said this on X: speaking out against boys and men playing in women's sports is not at all political. She's defending her livelihood and basic common sense. What's your reaction to her statement now?
Well, I would also say it's common sense that unarmed black people shouldn't be killed by the police. I would think that's not a political issue either, that there shouldn't be state-sanctioned violence against black citizens. But she somehow thought that was a bridge too far, and that was asking too much, and that was entirely too political. And so when black athletes started to bring attention to racial injustice, which everybody, by the way, should care about racism. Racism isn't a political issue, it's a right and wrong issue. But when that happened, Laura Ingraham told everybody to shut up and dribble, and I actually have to thank her because I worked on the documentary that LeBron James executive produced called Shut Up and Dribble. I was a narrator and a writer on it, and she gave us the title. So thank you, Laura Ingraham, because you put money in my pocket, and I appreciate that.
There you go. That's the middle, I think.
I just love it.
It was. There you go.
Clark has been and has seen the backlash against her teammates Cunningham first dance. Cunningham was also just speaking her mind as the backlash against her affair.
Listen, even if I don't agree with what an athlete has to say, I don't ever champion them.
She looked kind of like Kiana. She's just like a dude.
Whether I believe with them or not, I'm consistent in that way. But if you put them out there, they deserve to be critiqued and challenged. My issue with Sophie Cunningham is that she has recently become one of the most popular athletes in the WNBA. She's got a huge platform. She's got a podcast. She is suddenly now the darling of the right-wing community. She uses that platform to punch down on a group of people who are just struggling to exist, and I find that to be despicable. Listen, she could say that I'm just doing this out of love, or I'm doing this to protect girls and women, but her language is very she wanted to make sure that she left you with the most stark and demonizing image possible. Young, defenseless girls, big, hulking men in the locker rooms taking advantage of women in sports. And she should know, as a female athlete, I would love to hear her thoughts on whether or not in her career, did she think it was trans women that were holding her back, or did she think it was funding like an opportunity and investment? Because I would guess it was those things and not anything to do with trans girls or women. And you know, that she's been able to gain this popularity and at this platform. To me, it's just really shameful that she hasn't used it more responsibly. I get it. It's her 15 minutes of fame. She's trying to extend it to 20. But your words have real consequences.
Right,
There are people out there, trans people, who are losing their lives, who are being demonized at every corner in this society. And that, to me, is something, hey, if it sits right with her, you like it, I love it. It don't sit right with me.
Mel Hill, thank you for sitting here with me. And thank you all as well. The story is Alex Michelson coming up next. To tell legendary actor Tom Selleck in a wide range that includes a question about his views on President Trump.
Full swing, and the action on the course continues to heat up.
Right back, San Diego, that is
All the coverage of the FedEx Cup playoffs, finishing with the Tour Championship.
1-3, Arizona.
Then, coming up this September, the President's Cup returns to
They
Sirius.
were shut out. And they didn't have anything. 6 innings of the season. They either got a run last one in the 7th or the 8th. Now they got one more shot at
For the Padres, trying to keep this game right where it's at. Diamondbacks ahead 3-1. Wadi relieves Estrada, who came on to get the final 2 outs last inning. Pitching change brought to you by Sid's Carpet Barn. Sid's Carpet Barn is San Diego's flooring leader. The largest selection of all types of flooring at the lowest prices in town. As many
I remember the Carpet Barn when I was little.
I do too. He was dressed as a genie.
Wadi out there with a 3.21 ERA.
He had an Aladdin hat.
Fastball missing way high and outside.
And blue pants and red, white, and blue fucking shirt.
2 through a 9-pitch walk. His last time up, that was the last batter that King faced. The pitch here is low. And apparently there was an automatic ball assist. No. Okay, so now 2-0. With Wadi, it's always a possibility. Arenado takes, and a wide strike makes it 2-1. Arenado wanted to challenge that one, but they don't have any challenge.
They held you up today, you still found a way to tap this one.
This is the 8-hour clock. Because we were sitting so long at Morton's, it extended out the clock. Because we were there for longer than 2 hours. But we only stayed for like 19 minutes at the Lowe's, so we didn't get a chance to go back to the 8 hours. But it's fine because I knew to get up here, it's about 7 hours, 7.5 hours. I looked at, when we got there, we had like 4 hours left on our clock. So it didn't make sense to me to restart the clock, stay there an extra 11 minutes, because I knew it was going to take us 3.5 hours, you know what I'm saying? We had a half-hour to play with, and there wasn't a whole lot of hills. And he's actually been taking these hills like a champ, like he hasn't dropped down below 52 yet. But I mean, you know, we only carry 15,000 problems, look, it's going to come out your hole. We need
24/7 baseball.
still ain't going. I went down the slide hill, up to 68 miles an hour. I said, right back.
Sirius XM 89.
But, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Ray and very well may be able to go ahead and get us the fuck in.
And the guy with the biggest swing of the night at the dish. Tawa takes a changeup for a strike, 0-1. Tawa, a 3-run home run against Michael King in the 4th inning. Friday, brought to you by Jeep. With the Jeep Declaration of Deals, they're pledging their allegiance to the American people.
Maybe they'll send us that.
You know, sometimes when you talk about a starting pitcher's night and you say,
come out of the showers tomorrow. I'm going to look and check the like the coolant.
Side of the story of this game.
It was between the Max and Cole. So it's like right in the middle. So it's good for now. And then I still need to check the book. Maybe the ball's a little bit lower, the ball's 30, but I'm showing here I got full point. So, and when we turned off the truck, gone 10 minutes, it cleared the lane departure. So I'm hoping that tomorrow when we go to showers, when we come back out, that'll be gone. Because technically, Well, I don't really want to turn the power off, right?
You don't think it's gonna start back?
I'm not worried about that. I'm just worried about clearing the error messages on there. Sometimes they say you have to turn off your truck for a certain amount of time, but we got shit in the freezer and in the fridge. If we turn the motherfucker off, that shit will be defrosted by the time we get back out, right? After an hour?
You got about an hour. You got about 2 hours.
Oh, we do?
Before shit starts to melt.
Comes set and ready. Green and to the top of the pitch. Swung on, grounded up the middle. Bogart's way to his left, dives, has it, loses it, picks it up. But he is safe and run by keeping it with him. Everybody's safe, but Arenado's got to stop at third, and for the moment, the score remains 3-1.
Love for him to be able to glove it and get to his feet, but you'll certainly take him knocking that down and keeping it in the infield. He'll take another AB to get this run in from third, but nice play from Hogan just to keep this ball in the infield.
Now you've got.
I said, I'm hoping to find ourselves a spot. I look like I'm thirsty.
Ground ball passer, Bobby Peralta, you're obviously a double play.
Should be able to find it.
This moment, nonetheless, first and third line, the Diamondbacks already leading 3-1. The 8th inning, Rubenio out to Chad. He's trying to guide Wandy exactly where to put one pitch to get that perfect ground ball. As we've discussed many times over the years, page 17 of the broadcaster's handbook says it. Veteran catcher. And Buchanan is 36 years old now. In a situation like this, you have to say he's a double play candidate. Follow at first, Arenado at third, 1 out. 3-1 Diamondbacks at the bottom of the 8th. Now visit is over.
I'm thinking that we'll probably end up having to stop at Central Point and do showers in Central Point.
His second at bat in the base hit in the 6th.
I don't know if we'll be able to make it all the way to Young Kala without a half
First
hour.
pitch on the way, and McCann will take a fastball strike bottom of the zone.
Because it's on from Young Kala to
Wandy's so good at it.
Salem is 115 miles.
On the ground.
So
Just don't want it to be too soft.
it's
Fields back,
550.
1 pitch, McCann hits it
It's
on the
gonna
line,
be
to the left field, and a base hit.
550 minus 115 is 435.
It's an RBI double for James.
And at 60 miles an hour, that's 7 hours and 15 minutes. It doesn't include that we have to drop down our roundabout. So I would say we probably have to stop in Central Point to take showers there and then continue the rest of the way.
All the way to the wall. Diamondbacks push the lead to 3, and as I said, threatening to get more.
I thought you said push the lead to 4. Oh, there's never 3-3.
Now, first time on for the switch inning.
Anguish that so many Washingtonians are experiencing it. And just to be clear, just so your viewers are aware, these are neighborhoods right in the city of Spokane. Yeah, these are entire neighborhoods where, just look at the images. You have images on CNN, by the way. It looks like a bomb. It's been described by many years, look like a war zone. And that's the only way to describe it. These are just neighborhoods right in the city, totally wiped out in a space of just a few hours. So it's a very dire situation for many, many individuals.
Do you have an update on the 14 people who called emergency services but are still unreachable?
Yes, I was at a press conference earlier today in Spokane, and so just to be very clear about that, so first responders are doing a fantastic job.
Greg Frost, go ahead and double tap. He said, what it be like? Where the brothers be at tonight? Right now. Go ahead and double tap that screen
What
now.
they're doing is systematically going through and contacting individuals who've reached out to them to make sure they're safe. So what they've said is they're not describing these people as missing, but they are trying to reach them. So the person may not be responding because their cell phone is dead, or they got sick and so they can't return the phone call. So they're working individuals, they're just trying to track them down. And just emphasize not missing, but we do want
Only
to
somebody who
make
is
sure
in
they're
their
okay.
40s
So right now
and
at this stage,
50s
there's no
know about that
at this point.
Talk about some work.
Are really concerned because I know these neighborhoods well. When I go to Spokane to visit, I don't stay in a hotel, I stay in a home that is literally within a mile of where the fires were. That whole
them is.
coordinating with the federal government. Do you feel like you have everything?
When I go by that gold over
right
there.
now in the days ahead? What are you most concerned about, especially as the weather is expected to get worse over the next few days?
I think what I would say is that you never feel you're in a situation like this
Yep,
that
it's all
you
the little
have
things that we
everything.
find. Remember,
I
you
can't
used
say
to RoboCop. That's what
Yeah, they used to talk to me over in Fontana.
I go way
You are in a restricted area.
So we feel optimistic about getting
You'll be forced to call the authorities.
and personnel. We appreciate the help from other states who offer to send folks. So it's all hands on deck to get as many resources flowing in there as absolutely quickly as possible. So we're working hard to make sure that happens.
And lastly, my colleague Marcus Jones is reporting.
They didn't put one over there. It's called over there. What you doing?
Just showed them some video of them a short time ago. I want to play for you.
Over there?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Just street
When you close your eyes and think about the house, you think about the garden, you think about all the family and friends that have been here and the great times. But luckily, Jim took photos of every single room before we left, so we can see that and really remember everything.
Where'd you go, Jim? Good thinking, Jim. That's a good idea. Take pictures of every motherfucking thing in that house.
Lost everything.
Well, probably not just that, not just for memories, but so you can let the fucking insurance people know exactly what the fuck you
We're through that
missing.
situation right now. We've lost everything. Are in a state of shock.
Well, first what I'll say is I've been in
That
Eastern
shit is smart as
Washington
hell.
today. I
Pictures
just
and
got
a
home
video.
a very
Why
brief
you
time ago.
bullshit?
So I'm in my home with
Look,
my
Daddy, you
kids
take
here
the
and my
video,
wife.
I'll take
And
the
so,
pictures.
you know, I think anyone who has a home and has those memories can
Somebody
relate
said no help out
absolutely
there?
what,
I don't
you
know.
know, that individual had to
There's
say.
so many
So what I would
fires
say
going on right now because everything is
to
so
them
dry
and to
because of
everybody
climate
is,
change.
you know, we
And he's just
understand
making
we're
it
for
drier.
that home
You
for
know what
this,
I'm saying?
that folks are
By
hurting.
canceling all the natural gas and stuff like that. Natural gas is as harmful or dries out with all that dry vegetation. You know what I'm saying? And so now people, and you gotta think, we're close to the mountains, and it looks like they cut down a shit ton of trees, and whatever is left over from the tree, they just pile up and leave it there. All that damn kindling. Now I realize that it only takes one spark, and all that shit's gonna go the fuck up. They definitely need to figure out something.
Devastating wildfires as well. Roughly 2 million acres have burned there, shattering the state's previous wildfire record. Dozens of fires still active across the state. One you see right here, the Will Creek Complex fire in Central Wood, is one of the largest in the state this year. It has burned more than 320,000 acres. At last check, that fire was 60% contained. Now to look at the biggest story of the day ahead. Michigan residents heading to the polls for 2 major primaries in the next few hours. There's an open race for governor, but it is the Democratic Senate primary that is getting the most attention. Frontrunners Dr. Abdul El Sayed, Congressmember Haley Stevens, neck and neck heading into primary day, depending on the polls. Some show El Sayed ahead. They each attended events just hours ago in a last-ditch effort to attract any undecided voters.
There is a reason why Republicans are already spending thousands and thousands of dollars meddling in this primary, trying to maybe get their preferred candidate. Look, when it comes to Michigan, I run through anyone and anything to stand up for us.
That Haley Stevens
This movement of ours has proven that it can come through $80 million of spending in lies because we're willing to hold with us the truth. We're willing to do that thing that democracy is built on, which is having the conversations eye to eye with your neighbor about who we are and who we want to be, what we want for our America.
Dr. Saeed.
We don't know what the votes will say.
CNN senior political analyst Ron Brownstein is just back from a reporting trip to Michigan. He's on live right now. Welcome back to the story is. We want to put on the screen what you just wrote.
Oh no, Daddy, I'm thinking like next year, once we get our Jeep paid off, I need to go and get something with my mom.
Could be Progressive's biggest prize and
Get something
get what?
I said next year after you pay off the Jeep and the credit cards, I need to go to the dentist and go to get to before where I can make payments. Because it's been hard for me to cheat.
Yeah, it's been hard for me to cheat.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think we both should.
Huh?
We both should go.
Hey, what?
Maybe we both should go.
Yeah. Because, you know, they were going to put us on payments last time.
Yeah.
So maybe if we went in, we'd be able to make payments on both of us. Right?
Yeah.
So I can't just chew on this side because I think what happened was this side was doing really good. This is where I lost that tooth and it was doing really good. And then I ate those chips.
Yeah.
And now I have a bump in my mouth and it's so sore to touch.
You just gotta be careful with the chip.
No, I need to stop eating.
Could it have been those Cheez-Its you ate there? I mean,
Ruffles?
cheese crackers you ate there?
Those are really soft. It was the Ruffles I ate yesterday and the Ruffles I ate today. And then I gouged my mouth. So I had to bring out the damn salt just so I can get through my blood.
You got some way in your back?
I might have some of my purse. The chicken should be done. I mean, the pork should be done, right?
Yeah, it
Was
should
it
be.
chicken or pork?
Yeah, I think it's pork.
Oh, okay.
It's in there for an hour. Hopefully it's done.
Oh, okay. Then it should be good.
I still want to overcook it very tough.
Right. So it's not just me, it's you too. Okay.
But we don't overcook it.
No.
We don't overcook it.
No, sore mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Not the sticky soft stuff. Huh?
I'm trying to live your better diet. So that ain't so.
That ain't soft at all, Daddy. Just think to myself, we can just hold on for one more year.
She'd be done in a way.
I really, really thought that this month was going to be our month to save. I was like, hey, we got 99, you know what I'm saying? We ended up with 9,900 miles. It's going to be all good. And then we get home to some
Finally came in and told me the water heater was leaking. I said, shit.
Yeah, but the problem is that it leaked all over. Now we have to be worried about water restoration and shit.
If that mattress wasn't there, they probably would have noticed it earlier.
No, well, maybe, but I don't think so. I think the only reason why how they noticed it is because I made her go outside and unplug the fucking camera, replug it back in because we was trying to fix it. And so when she went out there, she noticed, she said, "Mom, I think the water needs to." Yeah. But we probably do need to look into a damn sensor. If we can just put it at the bottom of that van. About that damn camera in the front. Like the next time I go home, or see if I can get a hot link on her day off when she comes back from the doctor, to go on the chat to try to get that motherfucker fixed. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one suffering over here, buddy. I'm glad I'm like maybe 10 miles away. We're not far. Get your ass on quick because I gotta go. I was just thinking it would frosty would be nice and cool on my mouth. Because you speed up to try to get ahead of me, which I don't know why. It's not that fucking serious. Oh, you're just about to. Oh, probably City Hall.
Where?
Not away.
Oh, that building.
Just right there. That's the City Hall, it's the community church, it's the courthouse, the police department, all wrapped together. You just gonna stay at 35 miles an hour. You go ahead and dumb ass. Where the police at? Where the police?
Nowhere to be found.
Yeah, that's a big old huge parking lot behind there. Go shopping at Family Dollar. Nope, that's the fire station.
Can't cool it there hot.
Right. You don't move that other piece of shit. Nobody at that motherfucker. We want a restaurant and see there's 2 cars. Ain't nobody at that motherfucker. Oh, they got, yep, 2 cars.
Meanwhile, they're trying to win our money back.
Man. Family Fun Center pumping and jumping.
Yeah.
frosty, but ain't gonna have no room in the freezer. By the time we get parked, when I get done this cooking, my shit gonna be melted. Alright, let's see what we got.
Whenever you're ready for it, I'll go do it. Since COVID, don't be nobody over there. Motherfuckers pumping and jumping and what's
Right, a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
Oh, ain't no spots. Look at all these motherfuckers right here. Oh, this is standing room only in this motherfucker. Jeez.
And it loves across the way.
Yeah, but that motherfucker ain't got no spots. That has fewer spots in this place. They probably got plenty of fucking reserve parks here. Try and park them out for the cabins. I don't really want to take prime park. Do you? Huh?
We don't have to. He's back in the.
Yeah, there's none left. Plenty of prime parking spots.
You trying to take a prime parking?
Not particularly, but I mean we can. I still want to see if there's an open one. If not, then we can always go back there. We can always come back this way if we need to. This motherfucker busy as shit.
Continuing to drive may invalidate your rest break, which is
Yeah, I want to listen to you. Well, if there's no parks over there, then like I said, we'll come back over here and go back up. But I know you don't really like being there.
I don't mind being there.
You said you don't like being over by
I know, I just can't hang out, but I can go back there and do what I want, do what I need to do. In fact, I probably could.
What?
Hang out. Take one of these.
Without looking for another one?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be one over there. Honestly.
I don't know if I'm up far enough to get in there. And there's one back there.
I ain't got no mouth. I ain't got no mouth.
Where's your off? Oh, never mind. Somebody just pulled up behind me.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I need you to stay right there. Look at what's going on all this shit.
You might be pointing at a corner.
No, he's probably parking. No, he's probably pointing at the freaking. Take one of those little perks over there. Just gonna hang out right there, bud. Alright, let me go ahead and reserve us a park.
There's a lane open so we go down on the
Dale.
That's not an open spot next to that bridge.
No, but if he doesn't park there, that prime truck just pulled out.
Park where?
right here in the middle. Watch your ass, watch your ass.
Is that a reserve spot? What?
I already paid for the reserve spot.
I'll still go ahead and get the ticket.
Should I get to a more convenient spot then down there?
No, it's fine right here. This shit is clusterfuck.
I know. Oh, you can just stay here?
Yeah.
Maybe if it airs out a little bit, I can go down there. Because, I mean, these will be in a spot. Somebody else might want this spot. You know? Trucks behind you. You guys gonna sit there?
Ooh.
That truck is coming out. He on the end now.
Where's the truck down there?
I can't get out of here. Let's just do this out of my way. I don't think I'll be able to do it. Can I clear that?
Yeah, you should be able to.
I can clear it?
Yeah, go ahead. You're good.
I'm trying to be good over here. This motherfucker's in the way. Oh, where are you going? You said I'm out?
Yeah, you good.
Can I fit through there? I don't think so. Maybe.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Somebody else do it. Trucker, do you?
You said the end was his thing?
I saw him pull. That's where I saw him pull out. Oh, yep. trucker. I'm gonna try to go on the other side of that damn
All
truck.
right.
I said, I'm not going next to the main trucker. I'm gonna try to go on the other side of that truck. The pickup truck?
Oh, just go next to the metro?
Huh?
Just go next to the metro?
No, I don't want you to have to be worried about anything.
You talking about blind back?
That's what I got you for.
I can't see right now. Can't see nothing right now.
You can't see right now?
Yep. Oh, that might be handicapped.
Oh, it's handicapped.
It's blue. Let's go next to the main truck.
Yeah. That's right by the door.
Right by what door?
The door that the people come out of, the truck wash?
It's all good.
Huh?
It's all good, baby.
Oh, just stick to me and park somewhere, honey. Okay.
Keep it straight. 1 second. Keep going. All right, go ahead and track it. Still a little crooked, a little bit.
I'm way out and I'm going to put this down. Truck over here.
There you go. All right, go ahead and track it.
Yep,
Like
you
a
go.
little hot. A little hot. What you do?
God.
Do you have AC on back there? Here, Dad, you can put that back up top. Oh, I just put it on the bed right now. Sorry, I didn't know you were. Do we still have gravy down there?
Yes. And they got a lot of color, but it looks like it's done all the way through. Shall I put it back in?
Nope. As long as you're done all the way through, that's all that matters. It doesn't necessarily have to be brown, you know what I'm saying? Brown usually comes from grilling it or frying it. table over there, Daddy.
that is, right? I can't remember what city. That money, that is.
Why'd you give it to me, Daddy? Is it burning? Oh, that's giving me the oil. What happened?
I told you it was a big something wrong with somewhere in the city.
Even what I said before that was going on. Maybe we can find the ice cream.
What? As far as what? Huh? Oh, ice cream.